Picture this. It's 1987. You're at the local Tuckerbox shop where they have a handful of arcade machines. Your arcade machine of preference is Double Dragon. Now, I'm a young guy. I go there. I'm ready to play Double Dragon. It's 1987. I've got a handful of 20-cent pieces, about $4 or $5 worth of 20-cent pieces, ready to play Double Dragon. I want to complete it without dying. So I put my coins on top of the arcade machine. This is what we used to do. You'd put your coins in the arcade machine, and whoever's coins were next, they were next to play. So I put a big stack of coins there because I wanted to make sure I wanted to play. And I said my challenge to myself was I was going to play Double Dragon all the way through without dying or without losing all my characters. I think you had like 3 or 4 lives. Anyway, I played it. And I was actually pretty good at Double Dragon back then. I loved that game. And what is amazing is I was sitting there playing and I was just focused. I was about 13, nearly 14 years old, focused on this game. And I'm playing away and I'm just locked in, trying to get my character to the end. Bashing guys, throwing them over my shoulder, kick him into the edges, all that sorts of stuff, trying to avoid that wonky jumps. You had these wonky jumps where you would instantly die, and if you didn't time it right, you would die. Especially this bridge part was really annoying. You'd bash this big guy here, and there was this bridge you had to jump over the water, and if you didn't time it right, you'd fall right into the drink and end up dead instantly. It sucked. But if you timed it right, you wouldn't die. Anyway, I'm at the final last bit of the game, and I'm bashing all these bad guys, and the main bad guy, he's got a gun. You've got to try and avoid the bullets, and you've got to time it. And I'm just walking back and forth, waiting for my time, kick the shit out of him, and I rescue the girl. Anyway, I haven't known, but around me is my friends and other people who are playing games watching me play, trying to get to the bad boss without dying. Because I said to people, today I'm going to beat this game. So I had about half a dozen, maybe 8 or 9, 10 more people watching me play this game. And they'll encourage me. You can do it, Eric. You can do it, bro. Yeah, man, you're going to get him. You got to get him. And I did. And we all just gave each other high fives. Yeah, we did it, Sitting there. And then, I go and quickly put my initials at the top. Up the top there, my top score. And I was there for ages, without dying, and my score was really good. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know my score was there on that machine for ages. And that's one of the things I miss about arcade gaming, when we used to go there and you'd meet up with friends and you'd take some coins and you'd go and exchange bottles, because we can go and get like empty bottles, and you exchange those bottles for coins, and you get your coins, you get like $5-10, and you got your money for the arcade machines and also some lunch or dinner. What do you want to have? Like maybe some hot chips and a Coke. That was our thing. We were Gen X kids. We would sit there and play games and talk shit and listen to music of the 80s, like, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard. That was my jam growing up in those eras. Listen to all the whole big hair metal while playing Double Dragon. Anyway, I beat the game. I felt like it was my all-time high. It was my moment to shine for a while. And there was also R-Type that I used to love playing, and that was such a hard game. And I used to love that Tuckerbox. It was such a cool place to go to. We'd all pitch in, and there was like a pool table behind the arcade machine. So it was like, used to be like half a dozen arcade machines, and there'll be like a pinball machine, maybe 2, and there was also a driving game. There was always a driving game somewhere, like Daytona or something like that, and then directly behind us would be a pool table, and then we'd go to the bar and order like hot chips and get a drink, and then sometimes we'd all pitch in and get a pizza, and we'd eat slices of pizza while playing video games and listening to the jukebox. There was a jukebox there. We didn't have no Alexas. We didn't have no little speakers with music installed. That we had to put money into a machine and type the code in to play a song, and you put like $2 in and to give you 3 songs. So we'd put in a few bucks. All of us would put in a few bucks, and we'd play a heap of songs. And then sometimes, if we would beg the guy who owned the shop, say, hey, can we put some more songs? He would go there and he would automatically put a handful of songs for free because he wanted us to keep spending money there. So he wasn't silly. But there were such great times. There were such great times at the local tackle box, playing video games on the arcade machines, eating greasy food with your friends, and then at the end of the day, you know, or maybe late at night, you'd get on your push bikes, you'd say your goodbyes, and you'd ride home. And then, you know, you'd get school on Monday. But you do that all weekend, have fun playing video games and stuff like that. And I miss those times. Those times were absolutely awesome. And it's those little moments I'll cherish those moments all for the rest of my life. And I remember hanging out with my friends, playing video games and talking about how I was going to beat Double Dragon. And that was the highlight of my day. And there was a bunch of other games I'd try to beat, and sometimes to get the better of you. Like, I loved Wonder Boy. Like, Wonder Boy was one of my jams as well. And that was such a hard game. If you didn't time that right, you didn't miss those clouds, you was a goner. You're as good as dead. And those games were all about precision and timing. But I just missed those games. But Double Dragon was definitely a highlight. And the Neo Geo machines were always good too. Like, having those Neo Geo machines with Final Fight and all that sort of stuff, you'd have like four games on one machine, and you'd have like 4 of your friends together. And also the Turtle games, the Teenage Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, that was a great game. We used to play that as well. Oh my god, we used to play that over and over and over again, and we keep pumping coins into it until we got to the end. And absolutely had fun. But it was really cool when you'd be playing a game and people would just sit there and watch you play. That was before Twitch. That was before streaming. People would physically sit around you or stand behind you and look over your shoulder like that to see you finish this game on, and then egg you on. And sometimes you'd run out of coins. You go, oh my god, I'm running out of coins. And someone would say, oh, here's $1. Keep going, because they wanted to see you get to the end. Was that technically donations before Twitch? Or before bits on Twitch? I guess so. But it was really cool when someone would spot you $1 or say, hey, here's 20 cents, mate. You keep going, you got this. That was really cool. Really cool moments of gaming. But I do miss it. I really do miss it. And it's a real shame this younger generation, I don't know if they still... I mean, there's places where you can go to play games, but not like we used to do. There'll be like a local mum and pop shop, like where you buy takeaway food, like fast food, and they would have a handful of machines there. And you'd play them. And who remembers Black Tiger? Anyone remember that one? If you haven't, look it up. Black Tiger and Rygar, I used to play them as well. Really brutal games, and I'd sit there and pump so much money into those machines. And then when you run out of money, you go back to your mum or your dad and say, hey mum, can I have $2? They said, what for? And you say, arcade machines. They didn't understand. Why do you want to play games? What are you talking about? But they just didn't understand. But it was a great time. It was a great time. And I remember when I visited my Nana and Pa in Adelaide, I would go and visit them, and there was a little corner tackle box shop there, and it had Black Tiger in there, and I was obsessed with that game. So I'd get up in the morning, do some errands for my grandma, and she would give me, because my grandma was so generous, she would give me like $5. So $5 to a kid in the 80s, that's like $50 nowadays. So I'd go there, get myself a drink, get myself a meat pie, and play Black Tiger. I used to love that game. It was so cool. I'm pretty sure it was called Black Tiger. I'm pretty sure, but it was a really hard game. A lot of fun. But I do remember those days, and I do miss those days. It was a lot of fun. But I'd love to hear your stories, guys and girls, who remembers those days or playing arcade machines. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear that. Do you miss them as well? What was the game that you beat? What game that you was proud to put your initials up top and you was number 1 at? And you was number 1 for a while. Mine was Double Dragon. I was on that game for quite some time. I was pretty good at that game. But I'd love to hear your stories. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, you can give it a thumbs down. Either way, I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you on the next one. Remember, make sure that you give it an old crack. A good old hard crack. Whatever you're trying to do in life, make sure you give it an old crack. Have a go at it. Don't be afraid to try. Anyway, much love. See you on the next one. And bye for now.